Around 500 people are living in Oymyakon, but to be honest, it's more about surviving than living. The average temperature in the colder months is minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. There are only 3 warmer months, with temperatures averaging 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and the record low was recorded in 1923 when temperatures dropped to minus 96. The houses don't have plumbing because the water would freeze in the pipes, so toilets are simple pits with a roof and door over them. The village has its own heating plant that burns coal non-stop to heat water, which is then pumped through the village pipework. When outside, they have to keep their car's engine running all the time, even when refilling at the gas station. If not, the fuel would freeze in seconds, making it impossible to start again.
Winter lasts for 6 to 7 months here, and in that time, you can never drive your car. If you insist on driving it, you can never stop your vehicle's engine. For example, the car with a running engine you can see here is empty. There is nobody inside. There are hundreds of cars like this. The reason why the engine is running, if it stops, it can be completely covered with ice and the engine oil will freeze. As you can see, the owner of this vehicle must have decided not to run his or her car for a while just after 20 minutes of the engine being off. It is common to give up hope. Another frozen car here, waiting to be reused next summer. This car is running, right? Let's see if there's anybody inside. Yeah, nobody. Can you imagine what a huge waste of energy this actually is? Fortunately, Russia is a country that is quite rich in oil and natural gas resources. Even the exhaust smoke freezes. That's how cold it is. There are special covers for protection. Sometimes this is not enough too. People who can afford it keep their vehicles in a heated garage.
Because these vehicles are constantly running, there is a constant layer of exhaust smoke over the city. Range of visibility is often below 200 feet due to the smog.
Kids have to go every day unless temperatures drop below minus 58 Fahrenheit. Their diet is mainly meat because the ground is permanently frozen, so no vegetables can be grown.
In this land where people culture or farming, people eat fish. One of the most important features of this market is that they display the fish in public stalls rather than in refrigerators. Outside is much colder than any refrigerator.
A piece of meat left outside won't spoil for months.
There are also frozen rabbits here. They are consumed a lot, including with the ducks. Horse meat is also very common. It is about 45 pounds. They take this fish as a whole, put it outside and consume it for days. This one is also on sale. It never spoils, of course. Its ears are not moving at all.
This permafrost also makes grave digging a lengthy experience. First they light a bonfire to defrost the ground, then dig down until they hit permafrost again, and then repeat. The process of digging a grave can take days. There is no cell phone coverage, but that's mainly because no one has made a cell phone that can work in such a cold climate. Even though it's the coldest town in the world, and probably the hardest to live in, it is possibly the most beautiful landscape on the planet.
The houses here have completely different architecture. The reason why the buildings are built on pillars is that the ground is covered with ice and there is a possibility of ice shift.
Old houses start to lean over after a decade or so because the amount of ice either increases or decreases.
It feels like pins and needles. The worst thing that will happen is to get frostbite. Considering a refrigerator operates at about 40 degrees Fahrenheit, a freezer operates at about negative 4 degrees Fahrenheit. Since the temperature here is negative 58 degrees Fahrenheit, everywhere you can see here could function as a very high-tech freezer. That's why some people are able to store their fruits or their meat just by hanging them outside their windows.